What I'm about to say today may be the most outlandish, crazy, most annoying thing you're ever going to say. Even, I'm going to say this, take it one step further. Blasphemy. I don't think this striker is worth the money. Matter of fact, I don't think this striker is worthy. Oh, I went too far. I went too far there. That was a bit strong. I just don't think this striker is worth the money it's been quoted to buy him. In fact, I have another striker that's on the radar, that's on the lips for Arsenal fans, but they don't think he's worth it. But what I've got to show you today may just change your mind. Give me 9 minutes. It's not going to be a waste of time. You may just walk away from this or stand up and go, bam, shit. I have just been bamboozled. This guy's right. I've been sucking in all along. I'm Tying Night here for TK24 Sports. If you're new to the show, like, subscribe, turn that notification on so you don't miss a show every time we upload. Let's get into this one. I'm talking about a striker that Arsenal fans are saying, that's who we need to go and buy. He's the one. That's the one. If we bought him in January, we would have won the league. If we bought him at the summer transfer window, we would have been a shoo-in for the league. That's a possibility. Maybe on the last one, but not the first one of the January transfer window. Buying this particular striker, and I'll say the name, Isak, wouldn't have pushed Arsenal further winning the league this year in January. It would have helped with a cause, but it wouldn't have been enough. In the summer, would it have been enough? I don't know. I really don't know. So that's my honest answer there. But my point is this about Isak. When you're getting quoted 150 million, now that's what the reports coming out from Newcastle, they'll only sell it for 150 million. That is so, I'm going to use the word, fucking overpriced. It's unbelievable. That then sucks in the Arsenal fans are saying, well, shit, if they're saying 150, we need to go in for him. That's what you call a top baller. That's the player. Oh my God. Calm down. Alexander Isak is a good player. I mean, to me, he came on the radar years ago when I used to, like, maybe you play this game as well, Football Manager. I first discovered him on Football Manager, just the name. And I bought him. He was a young pup. He was just scoring goals. He was one of those wonder kids. He was just scoring goals, scoring goals, scoring goals. Then you saw him in real life when he was at Borussia Dortmund. You're like, well, maybe that's why it's a game simulator, not real life. It's only now 5, 6 years later that you start seeing this Isak. Now, with this Isak, I'm going to say this one thing. When Arsenal bought Kai Havertz, no Arsenal fan was saying Arsenal should have went out and bought Isak. Not one Arsenal fan out there was saying Arsenal wasted their money on Kai Havertz. They said that, but they didn't say they wasted their money on Kai Havertz at the time. They should have went to Real Sociedad and beat Newcastle before the punch and got Isak in for 65 million, relatively the same sort of price that Newcastle paid for Isak, then Arsenal paid for Kai Havertz. They never said this when Arsenal went out and bought Jesus from Manchester City for 45 million, when it could have more than likely went to the Sociedad and paid 40 million for Isak at the same time. No one was saying it. Now I'm going to calm down a little bit. Isak is a good player. He is a fantastic player. He's silky. He looks good. Okay, he's proven just what last season in the Premier League that he can score goals. But one thing I'm going to say this to you is, where do you get 150 million from? Even 120. Damn it, 100 million for a player who's not scored 30 goals in a season, 25 goals in a full season. Now, I'm not just talking Premier League. I'm talking season, okay? Let's not, what's the best word to say this? Let's not misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm talking a season. He hasn't scored 25 goals in a season. That's the league, that's the cup, and little experience does he have in the Champions League in Europe. You know, he has less pedigree in Europe than the player I'm about to talk about. He has less pedigree of hitting 25 goals. He has nothing on his resume to say he is worth 150 million, 130, 120, 110, 100 million. On the best day, Isak's value, the top end value as it is right now, is 90 million. And I'll say this in pounds, not euros, not dollars, not UAE, pounds. The maximum I would pay if it was to go for Isak, even over the player I want to talk about, is 90 million. Then I'll say, yep, go buy him. Why not? At 90 million, that's a lot of money still, but go and buy him. It's a shoe-in. Yes, let's go for it. But 150, 140, 130, 120, 110, 100 million, no way. Why would you go and pay that money for someone who hasn't even hit 25 goals in all competitions from the time he was in Dortmund? Then he goes to Spain in La Liga and then Real Sociedad, and then he comes to the Premier League. He still hasn't hit 25 goals in a total season. You just don't do that. That's not money well spent. That's money wasted. You have a go at Arsenal for wasting money on Jesus. Have a go at money away on Arsenal wasting money on Kai Havertz. This would be money wasted on Isak. With that sort of money in the hundreds of millions, now you can say Declan Rice. Why pay that money for Rice but not pay that money for Isak when Isak's going to score you the goals? I get it. I totally get it. But with Rice, he doesn't have any injury issues. He doesn't have any injury worries. And bear in mind, Rice actually won a trophy and he commanded that figure. As little as that trophy was, it's still a big trophy. It's still a trophy. Isak has not won anything yet. But now you're talking about, if I heard one person say this online, if Isak costs 120, 130, 140, go and pay it. Go and pay it, even if it sets Arsenal back 2-3 seasons. Even if it sets Arsenal back 2-3 seasons in the transfer market, still go and buy that man. How dumb can you be to say a word like that? Why would you put the club back 2-3 seasons as we're not back 2-3 seasons now, we're back one season from a mistake. And that's what it could be with Isak. It could be a mistake. You buy him, he gets crocked. And bearing in mind, on this Arsenal training pitch, everyone comes on crock. You could put Arsenal back even further, because once you dish out over the 100 millions of pounds of a player and he goes crock, or he misfires and he doesn't work out, you're stuck with him. Pretty much like we're stuck with Havertz because of the wages. We're stuck with Jesus because of the injuries. We can't keep getting stuck with players. What Arsenal need is to get a player with a mixture of two strikers that we had. One is a legendary striker. One is a striker that went off and won more trophies. Nothing new for Arsenal. We're talking about Henry and Olivier Giroud. We're talking about Henry with the skills, the pace, the passion. And then we're talking about Olivier Giroud with the hold-up play, bringing people into the game, being able to the aerial battle. This player I'm talking about, and bearing in mind, also been linked to so many players before. They've been linked with Vahailovic. They've been linked with Ollie Watkins, that's just gone in January. They've been linked with Osimhen. They've been linked with Gyökeres. All these players that Arsenal have been linked with, I would say this player I'm going to talk about has more potential at being better than Isak, being better than Osimhen, being better than Watkins, being better than Gyökeres. All these players I've just mentioned before I mentioned the player that I'm talking about are great players. They're great strikers. They're great finishers. They can all do that. But it's just one thing that these players cannot do that this player can do that Arteta's looking for. And you have to remember, Arteta's looking for someone who can play his system, his way, his philosophy. This player I'm about to mention is the one. And you must be thinking, I know who it is. I know who it is. I know who it is already. You don't need to say it. But I'm going to say it. But not only am I going to say it, I'm going to back it up. I'm going to back up my findings on what I've done and looked into this player to show you he is no different than Isak, who's going to cost you 120, 130, 140, potentially 150 to prize him away from Newcastle with 3 years still on his contract, who potentially could get Champions League. I doubt it. I said potentially. For you can pay for a fraction of the price. A fraction of the price. And bear this one in mind. Not only would you buy this player, it still leaves you money left over that you could buy a 3-in-1. When I say a 3-in-1, you could buy 3 players. This striker, a left winger, a right winger, and this striker for what it would cost you to pay for Isak. Now, going back to this person who I saw made this comment about if it sets Arsenal back, would you rather set Arsenal back 3 transfers for 1 player, or 1 transfer and buy 3 players, or for the 1 player they would have cost to get Isak? I'll let you stew in that. Leave a comments below before I name this player. Leave a comments below if you think you'd rather Arsenal get set back 2 free transfer windows to buy Isak, or buy 3 players, which would be more deadly for Arsenal. And the players I'll mention, I'll be able to back up with the numbers. Apart from 1 player, I'm like, not too sure. But Arsenal will be better off with these 3 players than they would with just Isak on his own. Even with the current squad of Arsenal, even with the new stars that's coming on board, I will still say this player that I'm about to mention, which is about to get in your nerves now to say the damn name, is actually better suited for Arsenal than Isak is for Arsenal. And his name is, of course, Benjamin Sesko. You're that, damn it, I knew it, you damn fool, I'm turning the show off. Do not turn off. Keep watching. Right? Because I'm about to break it down and you're about to be surprised just how similar he is to Isak, but he's younger, he's taller, he doesn't have the injury records, and he has more European experience than Alexander Isak. And guess what? They're both level in the sense of they both haven't won trophies, but one's cheaper than the other. You ready for this? Let's get into these stats. So when I talk about Sesko, and I talk about Isak, and I talk about these stats, it's going to blow your mind. Again, why would you pay? Sorry about this. Why would you pay 150 million when you can pay close to 80 million euros? When I say 150 million, I'm not talking about euros, I'm talking about pounds. When I'm talking about 80 million, not pounds, I'm talking euros, which is cheaper. And again, you can still get 3 for 1. But let's talk about one-on-one. That's what we need. That's what we're here to talk about. Who is going to be the better player for Arsenal? Some of you are still saying it's going to be Isak all day long because we've seen him play. But again, please bear in mind, you wasn't saying this when Arsenal bought Havertz, they bought Jesus, and all the other players that Arsenal bought before Isak came to the Premier League. You only want him now because he's fashionable and because the majority of Arsenal fans that you see, whether it's on YouTube or online, you're going, that's who we all need. But I'm telling you, Sesko's the one. Here we go. So let's take the 2020 to 2021 season. Isak played 44 games in all competitions. So this Sesko played 31. Isak scored in total 17 goals. Sesko scored 21. Now bear in mind, there's a 4-year age gap difference. They played in the same year of this 2020-21 season. Okay, the 2021-2022 season, 41 games, he scored 10 goals, 32 games, 6 goals. Not too much difference, right? Let's keep moving on. The 2022-2023 season, he comes to the Premier League. He then plays 29 games. This is all competitions. Sesko plays 37. He scores 11 all season. Sesko scores 16 all season. 16 is more than 11. More than 11. Okay. The 23 to 24 season, last season, 23 to 24, 40 games, 42 games. So Isak scored 25 goals. Sesko scores 18. There's not much difference in them. This season, not too much difference. There's a little bit, but not too much. So the 24-25 season, 31 games played, 22 goals in all competitions, 34 games, and 17 goals in all competitions. Now, when it comes to assisting, this is the part I was talking about, having the Olivier Giroud part. And bear in mind, again, there's 4 years age difference in between both players. So this season, 5 assists for Isak, 5 assists for Sesko. Last season, 2 assists for Isak, 2 assists for Sesko. Season before, the 22-23 season, 2 assists in all competitions. All competitions. Sesko, 3. 21-22 season, 3 assists. 21-22, 2 assists. Do you see my point? Why would you fine. Why would you pay 150, 130, 140, 120, 110, 100 million for a player when you can get pretty much the same results from someone who's 4 years younger, yet proven in the Premier League? Isak has only had one stellar season in the Premier League last season, and now everyone's jumping on him saying, that's the player, that's who we need to go for. I'm telling you, Sesko is the one that Arsenal need. Sesko is the one that Arsenal should focus on because Alexander Isak is overpriced and Newcastle know they've overpriced him, hoping to scare people off, suitors off. But if Isak was rated at 90 million, I would say go for it, Arsenal, all in. We know the player. Cool, Sesko is younger, but at this difference, at 80 million euros at the top end of what his contract would be because of the contract clause that he signed for last year, that's the one you go for. That's the one that Arsenal can still make more money on if they need to sell him later on. If Arsenal bought Isak and it didn't work out and they want to sell him, they'll be selling him at a huge fucking loss. It's unreal. At Sesko, he could come in and Arsenal could still make money on him, or they could break even. At Arsenal with Isak, they can never break even with him because his value may stay the same. It could go down if it doesn't work out. If Sesko, if it doesn't work out, yes, you can lose a little bit of money, but it's not going to be the same as what it would be with Isak. Plus, the wages it will cost to get Isak is going to be astronomical. You're looking close to your 300,000 per week because he can command it, and whatever club goes for him could potentially offer him that 300,000, 280, 290. With Sesko, you're looking at even at max 125, 130, 140, and you'd rather pay that. And no, okay, you're up and coming, but he's only 21. Isak's 25. 25 is not old. 21 is not young. My point is this. Sesko is the one that Arsenal need to focus on. Arsenal need to go all in on Sesko. They tried last season. It didn't work. They're now going to go for him. They're now going to go back in for him this season for sure in the summer. When they get the new sporting director, which is going to be announced in the next 2 weeks, Arsenal are going to go all in on Sesko. They're going to get that deal done. They're not going to look at Isak. They know that is just a near impossible deal to be done. But if it was kind of possible at 90 million, Arsenal going for him. Would I be happy at 110, 120? No, because I still think it's a lot of money. But I'll say, okay, yeah, go for him if it doesn't jeopardize you going for other players. But with Sesko, it still allows room for maneuver to go for other players. That's why I'm saying go for Sesko. He's got the height, he's got the build, he's got the pace, he's got the finishing touches as well. The only weakness, and which I will show you here, again, I got this all off SofaScore. The only weakness that they found for him is just his passing abilities. Isak can pass the ball. I'll give you that. He can pass the ball. But Sesko's still the one for me to go for. I'm not saying Isak is rubbish. I'm not saying that at all. I think he's a great player. But leave your comments below as to what you think I've said today. If it's bullshit that what you think, tell me why it's bullshit. Don't just say bullshit. Give me the real reasons why you would rather Isak over Sesko. Just tell me why. If it's only because you've only seen him now, but you never really knew who Isak was before, that's cool. I get it. Not everyone's going to have access to watch every league in the world. But like I said, I only knew about Isak from Football Manager. Then I saw him in the Bundesliga and I wasn't impressed. Then I saw him in Real Sociedad. Still wasn't really impressed because his numbers weren't great in Real Sociedad. Trust me when I say that. His numbers were not good in Real Sociedad. And Arsenal spent the 65 million on that player for Real Sociedad. I would have went, okay, I don't know about this one. And so would have you as well. You would have done the same thing as well. But with Sesko, as he's young and he's younger, this is the one Arsenal will get right. If they go for him and they get him, Arsenal fans, trust me when I say this, you're going to be like, yeah, we got one. We got one. Now let's go for the league. Anyway, I'm tying out here for TK24 Sports. If you're new to the show, like, subscribe, turn that notification on so you don't miss shows like this every time we upload. And pretty much, this is the one I've been most passionate about. I mean, what else have we got to be passionate about this season? Have a good day. See you later. Bye.